Ever had your phone die right before the most critical call of your life? Or missed the bus by a nanosecond, watching it zoom off in a blaze of exhaust and indifference? Frustration isn't just an annoying houseguest. It's that cousin who overstays their welcome, eats all your snacks, and then decides to move in. We've all been there, tangled up in this knotty mess. But don't just slap on the "it's fine" band-aid. Let's uproot this nuisance for good. Today, we're diving into 7 unshakable Stoic practices to not just manage, but kick frustration out the door. If you're new here, I have a little challenge for you. Smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to upgrade your mental game and become a rock in this ocean of chaos. Now, buckle up. Let's begin. 1. Focus on your circle of control. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. Epictetus. First up, let's talk about control, or more specifically, the illusion of it. You can't control the traffic that makes you late, or the weather that ruins your picnic. You can control your reaction to it, your emotions, your mindset. This isn't some magical fairy dust sprinkled over your life. It's a mindset shift. Take, for example, the act of missing a bus. You can punch the air and throw a fit, or you could use those few extra minutes to take a deep breath and meditate. Maybe catch up on a podcast or simply enjoy the sky. The bus is gone, and no amount of frustration is going to change that. In today's fast-paced world, there's a rush to achieve more, be more, and do more. We're constantly bombarded with messages that equate our worth with our productivity. But life isn't a never-ending checklist. It's a series of moments, some planned and some unexpected, that together create the tapestry of our experiences. So, the next time you're caught in a spiral of annoyance because something didn't go your way, pause. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, take a deep breath and let go. If yes, then act on it. No point tearing your hair out over a lost bus when you could be finding an alternative way to your destination. Embracing this first Stoic principle can be liberating. It's like finally deleting all those unused apps on your phone. You didn't even realize how much space they were taking up until they were gone. Unload the burden of the uncontrollable, and you'll find more room to enrich your life with what truly matters. Imagine a world where everyone practiced just this one principle. No more road rage, no flared tempers in the grocery store line, no keyboard warriors losing it over a tweet. Now, that's a world worth striving for. So take the first step. Focus on your circle of control. 2. Zoom out for perspective and the view from above. Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well. Epictetus. You know how in movies the camera often zooms out to show a bird's-eye view of everything? It's easy to forget that our personal world isn't the entire universe. Sometimes we need a view from above to ground ourselves, to see that the issues we face are just a speck in the grand scheme of things. Feeling frustrated because your Wi-Fi is down? Imagine looking at that from outer space, where even giant metropolises look like mere dots on a globe. Pretty insignificant, right? This shift in perspective can slice through frustration like a hot knife through butter. Of course, I'm not saying your problems are trivial. What I'm saying is, sometimes magnifying them in our heads is what gives them power over us. We turn molehills into mountains and wonder why we're struggling to climb them. Now, practicing the view from above isn't an escape route from your problems. You can't just ignore a flat tire or a pressing deadline, but you can change the lens through which you see them. Consider their relative importance in the broader scope of life, and suddenly they become more manageable. Why does this work? Because zooming out shrinks your problems, but it enlarges your appreciation of what you have. If you're healthy, if you have a roof over your head, if you have people who care for you, aren't those worth more than a momentary glitch in your plans? This Stoic practice isn't just about mental gymnastics. It's about realigning with what truly matters. And when you focus on the big picture, the pixels that make it up seem less distorted. So next time life throws a wrench in the gears, take a moment to zoom out. You may find that the obstacle you're facing is not as large as it appeared, freeing you to tackle it head-on rather than being paralyzed by it. 3. Use the power of now. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Seneca. We're always racing, aren't we? Racing to finish school, to land a job, to fall in love, to tick all these imaginary boxes that society says will complete us. In this endless sprint, it's easy to trip over the present moment. The Stoics, however, argue for a pause, a focus on the now. In our modern digital age, the practice of being present might seem more elusive than ever. Notifications bombard us, news feeds distract us, and tomorrow's worries often eclipse today's joys. But here's the thing. Frustration often comes from this forward or backward pull. Either we're frustrated because things aren't happening as fast as we'd like, or we're irritated about something that happened in the past. By centering yourself in the present moment, you're claiming your time back. It's like stopping a leak in a sinking ship. You're no longer letting your energy seep into moments that are out of your grasp, the past that can't be changed, or the future that can't be predicted. Don't misinterpret me. Planning is necessary, and learning from past mistakes is valuable. But letting them consume your present moment is like borrowing trouble from a future that hasn't happened, or hoarding regrets from a past that's already gone. So how can you be more present? Start by detaching yourself from external noise. Switch off non-urgent notifications, carve out time to do nothing, practice mindfulness, or simply engage deeply with whatever you're doing. Don't just eat, taste. Don't just listen, hear. Don't just touch, feel. Being in the present is also a remedy for frustration because it narrows your focus to what can be acted upon right now. It simplifies, clarifies, and provides a sense of peace. By harnessing the power of now, you minimize the space and time for frustration to dwell. You can't control everything, but you can control your focus. And when that spotlight is on the present moment, you'll find that many of your frustrations simply dissolve into the ether. 4. Audit and manage your desires. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. Let's talk about desire, a close cousin to frustration. You desire an outcome, and when it doesn't materialize, you get frustrated. Simple as that. The Stoics had an antidote, the dichotomy of desire. In Stoicism, desires are categorized into two types, natural and vain. Natural desires include things like food, shelter, and well-being. Vain desires consist of fame, excessive wealth, and other superfluous wants. The key is to fulfill natural desires to the extent that they contribute to your well-being, but to be very cautious with vain desires. It's human nature to desire more money, more likes, more stuff. But you ever notice how chasing after these things leaves you feeling more drained than fulfilled? It's like running on a treadmill, expecting to reach a destination. That's the trap of vain desires. They're endless, always dangling just out of reach. Now, the Stoic solution isn't to renounce all desire. That's not practical or even beneficial. The aim is to manage your desires, to weigh them on a scale of true importance. Before getting frustrated about not acquiring what you want, question the worthiness of that want in the first place. You'll find that recalibrating your desires will naturally lower your frustration levels. Think about it. If you're not chasing after unrealistic or superficial goals, there's less room for disappointment, and by extension, less room for frustration. But how do you identify which desires are worth pursuing? A good rule of thumb is to ask whether fulfilling this desire will genuinely contribute to your well-being and personal growth. If it's more about social validation or short-term gratification, you might want to reconsider. Understanding the dichotomy of desire is like a software update for your mind. It streamlines your objectives, enhances your focus, and boosts your overall performance. And the less cluttered your goal setting, the less room there is for frustration to fester. So, go ahead. Audit your desires. Once you declutter them, you'll find it much easier to navigate through life with a sense of purpose, rather than being driven by the volatile winds of vain wants. 5. Practice negative visualization. How does it help to make troubles heavier by bemoaning them? Seneca. Before you jump to conclusions, negative visualization isn't about being a Debbie Downer. Rather, it's about preparing your mind for potential setbacks so you can navigate them with grace and resilience. Imagine your day going terribly wrong. Your coffee spills, your computer crashes, you miss your train. Now, take a breath. None of this has happened, but if it does, you've already mentally walked through it. You're prepared. This exercise does two incredible things. First, it bulletproofs you against the initial shock of unfortunate events. So, when the Wi-Fi inevitably crashes 5 minutes before your big presentation, you don't panic. You adapt because you've already been there in your mind. Second, negative visualization magnifies your gratitude for when things are actually going right. You start appreciating the small things, the unspilled coffee, the reliable technology, the punctual train, because you've recognized they're not guaranteed. Your joy in life multiplies because you understand how easily it could swing the other way. But you might be wondering, won't thinking negatively make me anxious or pessimistic? The Stoic answer is a resounding no. The aim isn't to dwell on the negative, but to touch upon it enough that you dilute its power to upset you. Don't use this as an excuse to expect the worst all the time. That's not what this is about. It's about making peace with uncertainty, fortifying yourself against the curveballs life may throw your way. Remember, it's not the situation, but your perception of the situation that causes stress and frustration. And how you perceive setbacks changes when you've already met them in your mind. So, try this the next time you're sipping your morning coffee. Take a few moments to visualize potential setbacks and then let them go. You'll find that when life does throw those curveballs, you'll catch them with the grace of a seasoned player, not the panic of a first-timer. All right, here's a challenge for you. If you've come this far, I bet you can make it to the very end. Trust me, the most transformative part awaits in the conclusion. Do you have the perseverance to see this through? Prove it. Stick with me till the final word, and I guarantee you won't regret it. 6. Amor Fati, love your fate. Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. Seneca. If you've been nodding along so far, this next Stoic principle might just resonate deeply with you. Amor Fati, or love your fate. It's more than just accepting what happens to you. It's about embracing it, loving it, knowing that every experience is a lesson in disguise. Got fired from your job? Instead of wallowing, consider it an opportunity for a career shift or to learn a new skill. Your relationship ended. Difficult as it is, it might be the universe's way of saying, there's something better out there for you. This doesn't mean you shouldn't feel emotions like sadness or disappointment. Those are natural human responses. The Stoic angle is to feel them, acknowledge them, but then to flip the script. Ask yourself, how can this enrich my life? It's about converting what many consider bad into a new shade of good. Moreover, Amor Fati is liberating because it releases you from the grudge-holding, blame-placing mindset that can be so draining. There's no room for "why me" when your default setting is "try me." So next time you hit a snag, don't just bear it, embrace it. Love your fate, and your fate will start loving you back. It's not about ignoring life's challenges, but about finding a way to dance in the rain, rather than waiting for the storm to pass. 7. Memento mori. Remember your mortality. Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day. Seneca. You might find this one a bit morbid, but stay with me. Memento mori is a phrase that translates to "remember you will die," and its intention is far from dark. It's a vivid reminder to live authentically and passionately, focusing on what truly matters. Why? Because our time is finite. The notion of death brings sharp clarity to life's ambiguities. Annoyances and frustrations suddenly seem petty in the face of life's impermanence. Are you going to waste your precious moments agonizing over a rude comment or a minor setback? The Stoics argue that remembering our mortality helps us cut through life's trivialities and focus on what's genuinely important. But there's another layer to this. Knowing that our time is limited adds a sense of urgency. It prompts us to act, to change, to grow, to resolve, not tomorrow, but today. You no longer have the luxury of postponing things that matter, knowing that life doesn't offer unlimited redos. So, how can you incorporate memento mori into your life without it becoming gloomy? Use it as a daily prompt. When frustrated or stuck, ask yourself, in the grand scheme of my finite life, how much does this moment truly matter? More often than not, you'll find that what you're agonizing over is not worth sacrificing your peace of mind. The essence of memento mori isn't to generate fear, but to inspire action and gratitude. It's a tool to sift the gold from the sand, to separate what truly matters from the noise that constantly fills our lives. By reminding yourself of life's impermanence, you not only reduce frustration but enrich your existence. Your days become more meaningful, your actions more deliberate, and your time more treasured. It's the ultimate reality check, keeping you anchored while encouraging you to live fully. So, here we are. 7 Stoic practices designed to tackle frustration head-on. Implement them one at a time, or mix and match according to what resonates with you. The key is to start. After all, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And in your case, it starts with kicking frustration to the curb. Isn't it empowering to know that frustration, as daunting as it feels, can be tamed? That you don't have to be its victim, but its master. By applying these Stoic teachings, you equip yourself with more than just knowledge. You gain wisdom, a precious commodity in our fast-paced world. If these insights resonated with you, if you felt that tug of understanding or a spark of inspiration, don't just keep it to yourself. Challenge yourself to fully engage with this community. Hit that subscribe button, light up the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Let's not just pass through life, but dive deep, seeking out its many lessons and joys. And lastly, drop a comment below, sharing which practice struck a chord with you, or if you've discovered your own unique way of dealing with life's many twists. Because growth isn't a solitary journey, and your insights might just be the beacon someone else is searching for. Until next time, harness the Stoic within and face life's winds head-on. You've got this.